Exclamation everybody, and welcome to another channel update. This one for March of 2018, my normal monthly channel update. For those new to the channel, I try to do these once a month just to peel back the curtain and just talk shop for a little bit. The game in the corner, this corner, is called Wreckfest. And hopefully we'll be doing more with Wreckfest soon-ish, because it's last time I played this game, it was very early, like super early, a couple of years ago, and it has since gotten some legs. It's actually really interesting and fun, so I do want to play more of it and probably do some on stream and whatnot. A couple car games that I have to be on the lookout for. A couple different things with the channel too. Sort of, I wouldn't say going back to the roots, but there's been a shift in the way that I am in some of the series coming up. A shift back to some things that I was doing a lot of before. So I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. But before we get into that, I have a paper with all of my stats written on it. So let's go over the stats for the channel real fast. So as far as total channel views are concerned, we went from 132,156 last month to 134,128. So not too shabby, about normal for us. We stayed steady at 444 subscribers. That's kind of facetious because it goes up and down a little bit. It was up to, I think, 446 at one point, and then back down to 444. It's just it's weird how YouTube does its thing. And our monthly, our minutes watched, last 28 days minutes watched, has gone up from 58.38 to 76.26. I'm seeing a bit of a recovery in that area. I don't know what's up with YouTube lately, but they've been making some weird changes to their algorithms, and I think for a while there they just stopped notifying subscribers of videos and stuff. And there's been some tweets around this weekend where they've actually admitted to not showing all the videos for subscribers and all that stuff. So it's just kind of a strange little thing that I'm not quite sure what to put my finger on for there. But we're normally around 10,000 minutes watched. We were holding steady there for a while. It's seemingly starting to recover a bit, so just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I did try for a little bit doing 11:30 and 2:30 as the times when I upload videos. I've actually moved that back down to 10:30 again. I realized after doing that, I tried it for about a week and then realized that I had done like 11 or 11:30 before years ago, and stopped doing it because it seems like every big YouTuber puts their videos up at that point, and so you just get kind of lost in the shuffle. So I went back to 10:30 and could see more. I saw more views and stuff, so I think it was making it to people's subsections a little bit quicker, a little bit more efficiently then. Also, there was a problem for a couple weeks with the with Steam. In case you're not aware, I do actually post my side quest videos and the first episode of long-running series up onto Steam under Memory Leak Death. So I do get that does actually work out pretty well. So it does show up, like if you go to a particular game discussion board, you know how Steam has the has the store page, and it has like the community pages. On there it actually shows like videos and screenshots and all that stuff, and there's usually a video up there, usually my first video of a series that I put up there. So I just bearing that in mind in case you're ever wondering. you know, where wondering what I do as far as trying to get the word out about things. I try to put it there mostly because I've gotten a lot of good feedback from developers. Usually developers tend to see that a little bit more likely to see that than they are on YouTube itself. So, I've had a few good interactions there. Videos, we've gone from 2,385 total videos on the channel to 2,420. We are pushing very close, very close to 2,500 videos, which is crazy talk. Probably hit 2,500 videos not in April, but probably in May, sometime in the middle of May, more than likely, based on how many I've been doing. The anniversary for the channel is actually July, so it kind of sucks that we're not going to hit it on our anniversary, but at the same time, I'm just glad to be hitting it at all. So, and we'll be blowing by it. Basically, I was kind of hoping we, get to 3,000 this year. I don't know if we'll make it to 3,000 videos this year. We might. It really depends on how many I can. It depends on some of these decisions that I'm making as we go along here. So we'll get into that when I talk about series and things like that, and what's coming up on the channel. For followers on Mixer and Caffeine, on Mixer we went from 23 followers last month to 25. So welcome to newbies. And on Caffeine we went from 25 followers last month to 46. Caffeine's an interesting beast with that. There's a lot of I believe there's a lot of follow for follow happening over there. But at the same time, I'm seeing follows from people that have not chatted in the live streams. I do see some from people who chat, but others mostly from people who haven't chatted. And I'm actually starting to see follows pick up again, or at least a little bit more coverage anyway, a little bit more views over on Mixer. I've started to put in the titles of my streams lurkers welcome. I know that sounds weird. Like why would I do that? The answer is that I found, and I found this particularly with Caffeine, is I am by nature a lurker. I don't jump into a stream and immediately start chatting. I kind of want to see what's going on. I want to get a lay for the land. I want to get an idea of the streamer's personality, those kinds of things. Because if I jump into a stream and the streamer is not the type of personality that I particularly latch onto, I'm trying to be as diplomatic as I can here. Then I just I'll either just be very quiet and just watch what's going on, or I'll just leave without any fanfare. And then there's also times when I'm just not in the mood to chat somebody up. I just want to enjoy the experience. You just want to kind of sit there and enjoy. And what I've noticed, this happened on Caffeine. When I first looked at Caffeine, there's no. It's not, on Mixer, you can kind of get an idea of what's going on without actually getting into the chat room, which is what I really like about Mixer. Like, you can go on their homepage and you can watch without ever getting onto a chat screen, because they have featured people there that can just kind of watch right in the browser, right on the homepage without going anywhere. So you can get an idea of the community from that. And then, of course, you can jump into the chat and still get a pretty good idea of the community, because most of the people who are featured there have dozens, if not more, hundreds of people watching. And so you feel a little bit more comfortable as a lurker. You feel a little bit more comfortable jumping into a stream that has lots of people watching, because your entry will most likely go unnoticed. You know what I mean? so you don't have to worry about it. But on Caffeine, they don't show you how many people are watching a particular stream. Everything's very plain Jane and vanilla. Their idea is that they don't want you. They want it to be sort of a social network thing where you just kind of just jump in and see what's there. They don't really want to rank people per se by their number of follows or anything like that, even though under covers I'm sure they are. The problem with that is that I ran into is I wanted to be able to see, I wanted to get an idea of the community, but a lot of times you can't, because I went into a couple streams and immediately upon coming into the stream, I was like accosted by the streamer. Like, you know, they want to chat you up and they want to talk to you, and you just got there like 2 seconds ago. And of course, you know, Caffeine app notifies you when you first come in and notifies the streamer when someone first comes in and by their name and all that stuff. So I ended up just, you know, like, you know, quitting out of tabs and stuff. Like, I don't want to talk right now. I just want to lurk, you know? So I started putting the lurkers welcome tag on that because honestly, I've always had this policy, which is I generally don't chat people up unless they say something in chat. Like if somebody shows up for a live stream and they don't say anything in chat, I just keep doing what I do. I just do as though I'm doing a YouTube video where I just kind of sit here and talk to myself. And I have no problems with that either. I you know, obviously I've done YouTube for many years, so I obviously enjoy doing it. So it doesn't bother me the slightest. And I think it puts people at ease because, you know, I don't have a lot of people watching usually. On a good night, I'll have maybe 1 or 2. So, you know, when you naturally as a lurker, when you look at a stream like that, you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to go in there because I don't want to be like, you know, assaulted as soon as I walk in with peppered with questions or being forced to, you know, being called on class. That was, if you have ever, in class, in school, when I was a kid, I always hated being called upon, to the point where I never actually responded. Like, I went through my entire grade school, high school, a little bit of college too, where if a teacher or a professor ever like called on me in class, I would just stay silent. True story. It was just something I just absolutely abhorred because I'm like, I don't want spotlights. I don't want this. I just want to, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm trying to absorb all the information, and I was actually pretty good at absorbing information. It's just I needed to be able to focus, and when somebody calls on you, suddenly you get all that like tension, like, oh, the spotlight's on me, and oh, you know, and it doesn't hurt that I was shy and still very much am in many respects of the term. So I would just freeze up and not say anything, and eventually they'd get the hint and move on. Or if they, I mean, I was perfectly content to hold up the entire class for the rest of the period if I needed to, because I was that adamant about it. So yeah, doing that on a live stream really does not sit well. Really does not sit well with me. So I've always had that sort of policy, and on Mixer I've turned off the, you know, welcome messages and all that stuff, so I don't, you know, trigger anybody's, you know, lurker bail. Bail. We can't lurk here, bail. And I've noticed that I'm starting to get a lot more like follows and stuff, especially on Caffeine, where, you know, people just follow and then, you know, they don't say a word. They just come in, they watch for a little bit, they follow, and then they're out. And hey, you know what? I am cool with that. I am super cool with that. Super cool. I mean, I obviously want to chat to some people too, but it's not the be all and do all of why I'm doing it. You know what I mean? If I can entertain someone just by sitting here being bad at everything and chatting about nonsense, whatever nonsense happens to come into my brain at the time, I am cool with that. I mean, like I said, I've done YouTube for a long time, and that's basically YouTube in a nutshell. I'm sure there's a lot of, I imagine the people who call them out too are extroverts who only have done streaming and never did YouTube probably. I imagine there's a lot of those, a lot of people who have only done streaming, and so they're used to the interactions. They expect the interactions, and have never actually sat in a room basically talking to themselves to a recording to then edit and put up on YouTube. You know what I mean? So I understand both sides of it. It's just that is kind of why I wanted to take a moment to explain why I put that in the title of my live streams, because it's something I'm I guess as passionate about as someone could be, I suppose. I suppose. The other thing to note about streaming as well is, and you can see it in this video here, I've come up with a pretty much bare bones overlay. This is my streaming overlay. This is how you'll see streams for me. I put my face here, in the corner, and I've done the overlay in such a way that it's it's a 1080p image, and then I went on Wikipedia and figured out, and I looked up the page for 16:9 resolutions, and went to the 1080p 16:9 resolution is 1980 by 1920 by 1080. I went and looked up the one just previous to that, so that it's like not 1980, but it's like 1760 or something like that by whatever else, to make it 16:9, and I made a black area there, and that's where the footage that you're seeing, which I've also mirrored my camera so I can never tell which way to point here. The footage that you're seeing is in that section. So in theory, you're still seeing a 16:9 image. It's not being it's not wibbly or out of focus or anything like that, because it's not sized properly. So that should not affect the quality too much. So that's good. And then also, in addition to that, it serves two other purposes. One, it keeps it so that my face is not blocking stuff anymore. That's always a thing. Like, you go from one video game to the next, you're gonna be like, oh, is my face cam blocking things and all that stuff. Now it's rare that I'm blocking anything. There might be something in this one corner here that I might block from time to time, but other than that, it's I'm out of the way. It also, in the case of, say, Mixer, for instance, it makes the channel stand out, because whenever you go through the here's who's live, you get those thumbnails that show up, and whenever my thumbnail shows up now for what I'm doing, you've got the overlay in there, and right away you stand out a little bit more from everybody else, because everybody else has got just the regular, oh, here's a face on a video game, and by me going around and putting this sort of overlay here, it kind of sort of makes the thumbnail stand out a little bit more from everybody else's. I unashamedly is that a word? Unashamedly? I unashamedly stole that idea from Madrybread, who was talking about, he's a YouTuber and now a Twitch streamer. He was a Smashcast streamer. He was talking about his move from Smashcast to Twitch, and why he was doing it. And then he was talking a little bit about Mixer and what he didn't like about it and all that stuff. And one of the things he mentioned was like, yeah, you know, you got that whole page of thumbnails of who's live and nobody stands out from anything. They all look identical. And I was like, you know what? Actually correct. So I kind of stole that idea. So don't tell anybody. Our little secret. So that's the other reason why I have pushed for this overlay now. As far as YouTube videos are concerned, you're not gonna see this. I mean, I'm gonna do it this way for the monthly channel updates, because I like to have the face cam, put a little personal spin on it. But for normal videos, you're not gonna see it. You will see it on one Star Trek Online episode, or one or two depending on how I edit it, because I forgot. I put the wrong thing up, and I ended up recording the live stream overlay instead of the no overlay thing. Oops. But I don't think anybody will mind that much. But other than that, on YouTube you'll just see the gameplay footage. You won't see my ugly mug as we're continuing forward with that. I've done a lot of different things as far as the hardware is concerned here. I keep saying this, but I do want to make a video where I kind of go over what I've done, because it's pretty in-depth and probably won't work well once we get into the summer months here, because I've had problems before with the two computers running at the same time, generating so much heat that the air conditioner can't keep up, and then it becomes like 900 degrees in here, and I can't have a live stream if I'm sweating my balls off either. So we'll see how it works. Right now it'll work at least for next month or two while we're still getting this crazy snowy weather and stuff. The only other stat I have on here is that from February 21st to March 24th yesterday, I have streamed for 35 hours. Sorry. 25 hours is actually more, it's actually probably closer to 35, because that only includes Mixer stuff, and I just the last week got it to a point where I can stream to both Mixer and Caffeine at the same time. I took a week there, maybe 2 weeks, where I was only streaming to Caffeine. I was doing that because there's some stuff going on with Caffeine that I'm interested in. One is that they went to GDC and apparently talked to game devs about whatever kind of monetization they're going to be doing. They're doing something different apparently as part, like, you got subscription services and stuff, and they're apparently doing some kind of spin on that, and I don't know what that is. I can't imagine it being, I can't imagine what that spin would be, honestly. But they've got some kind of ideas about it. They gave some vague ideas of it, but didn't actually come out and announce it. They're apparently going to announce it in later this year. I thought I saw something like June, but I who the hell knows? They got $46 million in funding, so they're going to do whatever they're going to do. I know that they have a partnership with ESL, so it might be their sponsorship stuff might revolve around, or their partnership stuff might revolve around esports or something like that. Which, good luck to you on that. I mean, yeah, esports is certainly a blank check kind of deal, but yeah, I ain't doing no esports. I ain't that good. My reflexes are only getting worse over time. I'm pushing 40 here. This is not going to work out so well. So there's that. I've been streaming more over there because of that. I want to see. This is the first time I've really gotten in on the ground floor with a streaming service. I had the opportunity with Beam, and I didn't capitalize on it. So I'm capitalizing on it now. I'm making up for past mistakes. So I want to I'm going to follow this and see what happens. I may very well pursue partnership on either Caffeine or Mixer. I know that I haven't monetized anything up to this point. The only reason I'm actually considering any kind of partnership with them, which again would be not any time in the future, because I have a lot more growth that needs to happen before that happens. But if it were, I would be open to it, assuming it's not like an exclusive. There's no exclusivity thing there, because that's just shooting yourself in the foot to spite your face. The only reason I'm considering it is because these companies are motivated to advertise their partners and nobody else, and you see that very prevalent in Mixer. Even though they try to show up and coming things, they really fall flat in their face when they do it. Twitch doesn't even care. They just want more ninjas on their platform, which, hey, you know what, dude's a straight up guy, he seems like, so hey, fine with that. And YouTube is just, I'm not even going to get into YouTube. YouTube is circling the drain as far as gaming content is concerned, as far as I'm concerned. Caffeine, we'll see. They were originally starting Caffeine out as some sort of social network, kind of like a Facebook thing, and they've pivoted to the online video streaming. So that usually, in my mind, given my experience with technology companies, that usually means that they're just looking to get bought out by somebody. They're trying to do some kind of technology demo, get a bunch of people on board, get all their ducks in a row, and then get bought by somebody, and then have their cash out. That's generally how that works. They're running on VC money right now, so that's welcome to Silicon Valley, people. That's just how they do it over there. They don't have business plans. Their only business plan is how do we get enough people on board with this to make this a thing, and then dump it onto somebody else's lap and get our golden parachute. Pretty much what goes on there. I know this from experience. So that's basically. I didn't have a conclusion to that. I'm just rambling at this point. But that's some rambles there with that. As far as games are concerned, I would say probably pretty close to the end on Assassin's Creed 1. I'm not going to stream any more of it. I'm going to finish it locally because it's really frustrating the ever-living bejesus out of me. And I would rather do that locally so that I don't feel like I have to, I get extra frustrated when I'm not progressing and people are potentially watching, because I feel like I'm not progressing and all that stuff. So doing that offline but still recording it, I think is a better idea, because then I don't feel so bad if I have to do something 5 times before I finally get through it. So I do intend on finishing that. In fact, once I get done here recording this, I'm going to try and see if I can get through the final phase of that one. As far as the YouTube channel, things going on there, you're going to see a return to some some previous genres that I've kind of put on the back burner for a little bit. So namely like narrative-based things and sandbox stuff. So I took quite a bit of a hiatus from sandbox stuff because it just, Minecraft kind of broke me a little bit. I'll come out and just say it. Minecraft kind of broke me a little bit. but I'm coming back to it in drips and drabs. And we did have Starbound for a while there. There is actually, from what I understand, there's more to Starbound now. A bunch of the expansions that they've had have added a lot of stuff. So I will investigate returning to my Starbound world. I don't know that I'll start a new world. I have to see what actually has changed. Because I don't really want to go through all the grinding that I went through before with it. But I might return with my previous character, assuming I still have that save file somewhere, and examine some of the new stuff that they put in. I know they've put in mechs, and I think they have star bases now that you can do. I want to look at that eventually. It'll take me a while. It'll be another maybe month or two before I look at that. But I did, as part of a side quest video, I played a game called Realms of Magic and ended up really, really liking it. Wasn't expecting that, but I really enjoyed it a lot. So I have been playing that. I'm going to start. I still don't quite have enough footage of it that I want to put out, but I'm going to start putting out footage anyway. I wanted it to be more of a consistent, like every other day kind of thing. But honestly, I don't want to sit on it any longer. I've got about 4 hours, 5 hours of footage I'm sitting on. I don't want to sit on anymore because I have lots and lots of footage now. Since I've been recording a lot of things from live streams, I've got more footage than I've ever had, and it's starting to... Managing the hard drive space is becoming an interesting phenomenon here. So I'm going to start releasing that this week. I actually rendered a video, the first episode of that earlier this morning, so that'll probably be coming out sometime this week. I don't know when yet. I'm going to schedule them and upload them. I have at least 2, possibly 3, probably 3 episodes of that ready to go. Or, well, I have to edit the next 2, the second and the third one, but probably have about 3 episodes, maybe 4 from that. And so I'll be doing more of that on stream as well. And there's a couple other sandbox kind of things that I'm looking at, but I haven't really pulled the trigger on them yet. I was looking at Subnautica, and I may do Subnautica, but I don't know how or what form it will take yet. Not sure. I'm this way and that way about it. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I like the game and I want to play it, but I know just from the few minutes that I played it that it's grindy as hell. So there's going to be a lot of grind there that I'm not sure I want to. I'm not sure I want to do a YouTube series on it. But at the same time, I do want to do a YouTube series on it. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's might just be, if I do it, it might just be a live stream only thing. We'll see. We'll see with that, with what the future has in store for me on that one. And racing games. We've got Wreckfest, which I want to do some more YouTube stuff on, but I'm gonna hold off on it for a little bit. I'm gonna let it get some more updates before I do that, but I might play some of it on stream first. I've also on stream I've been playing the Burnout Paradise remake. I have it on the Xbox One, and it's not really, because I have just an Xbox One and not an Xbox One X, I don't really notice too much of a difference because it's really more the 4K stuff, but there's some nicer, textures here and there. And I've got all the DLC as part of it. I've never actually played through. I've had the DLC for a while, even on the PC, the old PC version, but I've never played like Big Surf Island or any of that stuff that was the DLC. So I might want to just go do that That's going to be a live stream only thing. I've gotten up to like Class C license, I think, and I got a ways to go yet on that. But I kind of want to just do that on a live stream and I'll just be like a chill stream as I'm doing that stuff. There's a theme with my live streams right now where I'm just trying to be chill and relax and not have too much action going on. I mean, it's nice to have an action stream, but you know, I like to be able to take a moment to talk to people if people are talking in chat and all that stuff. So a little bit more chill than probably. I'm trying to focus on those kinds of games right now. Friday, I recorded all of episode 1 of The Council. So this brings us back to the narrative-based games. I remember, you know, last year and stuff, I did a lot of narrative-based games. I did the, you know, Tales from Borderlands, a lot of the Telltale games, you know, Game of Thrones, stuff like that. We had Orwell, and there's a couple more coming back. I do own and I do want to play the season 2 of Telltale's Batman the Telltale series. I liked the first series overall, and it left us on a cliffhanger, and I do want to play the second season of it to see what's going on there. Apparently the last episode you choose the path of Joker, so that'll be an interesting thing to get into. Not going to do that soon. That's probably going to be like maybe another month or two. I think episode 5 of that just came out, and that was the last one of the season. So I'm going to kind of wait on it just a little bit, just because I have a few others that I want to do, but I'm trying not to overload the channel with them. And that's also because in order to do these some justice, in order to do these you know, narrative-based games, we're going to have some days where I have 3 videos going up a day. Not every day, but there's going to be a few days where there's going to be 3 videos a day. So I'm trying not to overexert on that or go overboard with that kind of thing. So all that said, you know, not wanting to go overboard with the way that's happening, I do have, like I said, I have the council is completely recorded. I assume I'll probably get like 5 episodes out of it. It was about 3 hours of footage to get through that episode, so we'll see. We'll see how many that ends up being, and enjoyed that relatively. I mean, it's certainly something different than the things I've done up to this point as far as narrative games. I felt a little bit more in control of things, although they still had some BS moments there, and it's a semi-interesting story. I mean, I'm not really that fully into the story yet, but it's not terrible either. So, at least not as terrible as the voice acting anyway. So we'll see how that goes. That's going to be there's 5 episodes of that. 5 episodes that will be released of that. Only the first episode has come out yet. So we'll see what the next couple episodes have in store for us there. That's apparently, it's going to be like you can actually make, you know, choices, and the choices will actually matter, unlike the Telltale games of recent. So expect that this week. And I know that Orwell, the second season of Orwell, has come out. We played Orwell last year, and it was spread over 5 episodes, or 5 parts really, for that season, and then you know, that told a whole tale. This time around, it came out, I think, last month or the month before. I think all the episodes are out right now, and this one, it's called Ignorance's Strength is the subtitle for this one, Orwell Ignorance's Strength. So I'd like to dig into that again and see what's going on with that. Each think each part last time around was about an hour, so it's probably about 5 hours altogether. See what they've changed or what stayed the same and all that stuff. The premise of that is that you're you're basically Big Brother and you're spying on people and you're trying to make determinations of, you're trying to stop like terrorist stuff and whatnot. So we'll see how it goes with that. I'll probably start recording that next week, maybe, and maybe that'll be for next week that we'll have that go on the channel, or maybe I'll take a week off so I don't shove too many videos out there at once. We'll see. Side quest videos. It's been somewhat slim pickings this time around. I don't have that many to go. I know I didn't put any up this previous week. I don't have that many to go for this week either. And it's not from a lack of trying either. I've bought quite a few games. I've looked at quite a few games. There's games from previous weeks that couldn't make it, that I looked at and I made a note of, revisit this, that didn't make it into previous videos yet. But I haven't really pulled the trigger on any of those yet. I kind of have to feel in the mood to play them. I haven't really been in the mood yet to do that. So I'm going to, I don't know what's in store for this week, other than it may be rather slim, rather thin on content as far as side quest videos go. I know lots of people like those. They like to be able to see the new stuff and have a first impression of it. It's just a couple of the games that I've gotten, I thought, oh, this might look good. I then play them and they're just, they're terrible. Terrible to the point of it's like, why would I even bother putting a video out of them? So it's I do actually, it may not look like it, but I do actually try to curate a little bit as far as the videos that I put side quest videos up of, because some games are just not worth the effort of putting it together a video for, which is unfortunate to say, but it's just the way that it is. Like there was one game that I looked at today that it was supposedly a cross between an RPG and a clicker game, and I was looking at it, I'm like, yeah, no, this is like 100% clicker game. there's no RPG about this. It was like a space game too. I don't want to name the name of it, but it may be something that you'll see in like a monthly channel update as the background footage. But as far as making a side quest video of it, there's not much to say. It would be like a 2-minute side quest video. It would not even be worth the effort. There's nothing particularly wrong with it. It's just that the cookie clickers, unless they bring something more to the table that makes them a little bit more interesting to watch, they're generally not interesting to watch. And that's the problem. Is like, I still have to make a video that's relatively interesting to watch. And if your game is not interesting to watch, then it's going to make it's a lot harder to get up the. It's harder to be bothered, is what I'm saying. That said, you'll have a bunch of some new games coming out this week that I'm looking at. Obviously, talking about the Council is one, Realms of Magic, another one. Like I said, I don't have anything planned right now for side quest videos. I'm going to take a look right after this to see if there's anything worth taking a look at. So there might be one this week, but I'm not going to kill myself trying to find one unless I find a good alpha demo there. I think there was an alpha demo. I was playing an alpha demo of a game that I can't record, unfortunately. They asked that people not record it, but it was actually very good. It's I guess I'm not going to say the name of it, but I'll say that it's by the devs of Void Expanse. And yesterday I played it and ended up playing it for about 3 hours. It kind of sucked me in. It was rather interesting. I kind of wish they would have let people record footage of it or stream it, because I mean, streaming it wouldn't have been that great because there was a lot of downtime, but recording footage of it would have been nice, even in its current state. It's very, very early, but even in its current state, the footage of it would have been interesting anyway. I don't want to give out any details because they specifically asked not for it, but we'll say should I say the genre? I'll just say it was like a 2D Rust, and I'll leave it at that. What's the other thing? I wrote something down here. Maybe I did. Star Trek Online, continuing with that, they just announced an expansion for Star Trek Online, which I think is coming out in June, where they're actually increasing the level cap to 65, which is crazy balls because they haven't done that in ages. So that's interesting. They're also going to introduce a new faction, the Jem'Hadar, or at least the Dominion faction. I don't know if it's going to be Jem'Hadar or Cardassian or what. Yeah, interesting stuff there. I joined the Space Game Junkie fleet, and I've been kind of grinding out some stuff for that. I've been grinding out the reputation stuff finally after all this time, trying to get all that up to level 5. I got all my Admiralty stuff up to max level. I finally got to level 15 on one of the R&D projects. I think those go up to level 20 if I'm not mistaken, so still got a ways to go on that, but I at least got up to level 15 on that, so it unlocked another section. I'm trying to work on the fleet thing so I can get another R&D slot to do stuff with, and I'm trying to grind all the reputation stuff so I can get actual upgrades to my ship that are from the reputation stuff too, and lots of stuff going on there. I'm enjoying it still. We got a lot of storyline stuff to go through. So continuing with that, that will be once I finish the storyline, which again they're doing another expansion, so it's going to be a while before I get through that. It might be another year before I get through the storyline. Once I finish the storyline, that will just become a streaming only thing, I think. Maybe. I might even just spin up a new tune and do like the Romulan thing, or I actually have a Klingon tune that I didn't actually do much with. I might even do that just to see what the episodes are like from the other faction's perspective, the Klingon faction or Romulan faction or something like that. But that'll probably become just a live stream thing after a while. I don't know. I could keep putting videos up of that forever and ever. I just enjoy the heck out of that game. I have no, there's no lack of need of wanting that in my life. So that's one of those series that I would be very happy to have 200 episodes in, regardless of how much time it takes me to edit them. Regardless, I could very easily do 200 episodes of that. The Elder Scrolls Online, I still have to get back into that. I'll probably do a live stream of that tonight. This is Sunday when I'm recording this. I'll probably do a live stream of that tonight to get some more footage, because I'm almost through all the footage that I had recorded back in January and February. That just shows you how far behind in the footage I am. So I'm almost through all of that. So I'm going to record some more of that. I missed the event that they had last weekend. I meant to record last weekend, but I missed the event they were having, but oh well. They also announced an expansion too. They're doing another expansion as well, so I have a long way to go on that. I'm still very early in that game, and I just need to clamp down and get some stuff going there. I mentioned this, I think I mentioned this last month, but I at least had it in my notes for last month. I don't know if I mentioned it or not. I started looking at, I wanted to look at an MMO called Neverwinter, and I never got a chance to look at it. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that yet. I'm kind of afraid to do more YouTube stuff because there's going to be a lot of MMORPGs then on the channel, but then I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't think anybody else has YouTube videos up of this because I hear almost nothing about it. So we'll see. Maybe I'll record it anyway, and then if I decide later I don't need another series on the channel, then I'll just drop it in the old delete bin. So we'll see. We'll see. I do want to have some time this week, hopefully, to take a look at that finally, and see what it's about. I mean, it could be just crap. It might be why I haven't heard anything about it. I have no idea. We still have to finish Battlestar Galactica Deadlock as well. I need to get back to that, but there's the reason I stopped that is because it was I still have some footage recorded that I still need to go through too. But the reason I stopped that was because I got to a point where it was just a stalemate. I mean, literally, it was a deadlock. Literally, like I couldn't move forward much. I was getting, every time I'd win a battle, I'd lose a battle, and win a battle and lose a battle, and I just hit the wall. So I needed to grind some more in order to get the reputation points, in order to get a better fleet and all that stuff. So there's some grinding I need to do there. I wanted to do that off camera, so I'll eventually get back to it. There's a lot of off camera stuff I need to do. The same goes for Slime Rancher. There's a lot of off camera stuff I want to do on that because it's I wanted to, we still need to, even though I finished the storyline on that, we still need to finish all the stuff to be done in the desert area. There's still a lot of those fancy fountains to unlock and all that stuff. So, but I wanted to grind out some plorts there because I wanted to get all the Z-Mart or whatever it's called levels. I wanted to buy all those and just get those out of the way before I started recording again on that. I did do some grinding yesterday in off camera in my time at Porsche. Because that one I'm not sure about. Like you guys are about 7 hours behind where I'm at, as far as footage wise. But I reached a point where I wasn't sure if I hit the end of the story content. But just yesterday, as I was grinding, I've made it to year 2 now. So the next footage you see, it won't be wintertime, which actually you haven't seen the wintertime footage yet. So you'll get an idea. But it's actually spring again, and it's year 2, and a new quest line has just unlocked itself. Like I wasn't sure what I needed to do in order to unlock the next quest line, but it's unlocked itself, and so there's some things to do. So I purposely stopped myself from going any further so I could do it on camera. So I am going to get back to that in a live stream and do some recording as well. I'm like right at the end of where I think their content is. I don't think there's that much more content left in there. That said, there is a lot of, I'm not in good reputation with a lot of the people on there, and it looks like I'm starting to get some reputation for some of the NPCs, and they're starting to give me like more stuff to do, like little side thingies to do. So maybe that's why I'm kind of hit the walls, that I haven't done enough reputation, ground enough reputation with the NPCs to get the next stuff. But this next thing that just showed up seems very interesting. It's a new main quest, and I don't want to give too much away because you're so far behind yet you won't know what I'm talking about anyway. But I just want to do that. I also made it so that I'm also trying to get another 10,000 galls so I can get the next upgrade for my workshop, because I wanted to upgrade the workshop to level 2. But when I went to do it, I had the money for it. I went to do it, and I couldn't do it because I didn't have a big enough plot of land. So I had to grind up 15,000 to increase the land. Once I did that, now I'm on the second grind of trying to get up to 10,000 again for the second upgrade, the level 2 upgrade of the workshop. And now that this other thing has started, I might have more opportunity to get more galls. I have like 7,000, so I'm close, but not quite there yet. So that's continuing. As far as Staxel is concerned, I'm going to let that one cook in the oven some more. I may do a live stream here or there of it, but I'm gonna let that one cook for a little bit longer, because it's they may be onto something there. They're taking the My Time at Porsche stuff and basically adding in Minecraft stuff on top of it, and they've got like quests now, I think, and stuff they've just introduced. I'll let that one cook for a little while before I even consider doing a series on it. So that brings you up to speed on the sandbox things. That brings you up to speed on the narrative things, the MMO stuff. So you're going to be seeing more MMO stuff, more narrative stuff, more sandbox stuff, more streaming. I'm streaming almost every day now, except for the weekends. The weekends it's been off and on, because mostly it comes down to whether I have time and also whether I want to get some stuff recorded. So it's not necessarily streaming on the weekends, but I am streaming every day of the week now. And since I have my setup now, I am streaming to both Mixer and Caffeine. So you guys should be able to catch me on either one of those at nighttime. I trying to get it to where I'm streaming at 8:30 like I usually do, but it's been later and later lately. It's been like 9 o'clock, 9:30 sometimes, and I apologize. It's just sometimes getting up the courage to hit the record or hit the live stream button. It takes a little bit of time sometimes. I'm still trying to get my sea legs, as it were, with that stuff. And sometimes there's times I come home and I'm like, I really don't know what I want to stream right now, and I'm not really in the mood. Let me just go record something locally. So that's the way it's been. I've been trying to make sure I get at least 10 hours in a week, because I know over on Caffeine, I'm on the Caffeine Discord over there, the official Discord, and they actually give out roles to people. If you do like 10 hours of streaming, you're a broadcaster role. It doesn't give you there's no difference between the roles. It's just it's a nice little thing that they're doing just to kind of, highlight you. And, you show up on the right hand side and stuff. Your name is different color and all those things. So I've been doing that just to kind of, because I don't know what they're doing with their partnership stuff or what they're going to introduce, and I kind of want to be on their list, have enough hours streaming that I may be able to be, privy to whatever information is going to come forward as far as the partnership goes. Like, kind of like it's the old, if I had just streamed something on Justin TV, I would have gotten a partnership without needing all the all the viewership and all that stuff. I'm kind of seeing if, since I've been streaming a lot in the pre-release, if they'll have a little thing where it's like, for those of you who streamed so many hours consistently in the pre-release, we won't force you to have, 500 followers in order to be a partner or whatever. I just want to. I'm trying to butter my bread on both sides. Let's put it that way. Anywho, I've been rambling for far longer than I should have. The footage you're seeing has looped has looped already. I only had like 38 minutes recorded, so I know I'm pushing the hour here probably, and I need to get some stuff done. So I'm going to stop here, even though I could talk about a whole lot more things, and just say thank you everyone for watching, for following, for subscribing, whatever the word is, on whatever platform you'll see this on, and more stuff to come in the future. I'm still here. I'm still cranking along, despite YouTube's being really special lately, and starting to get their censorship on. I'm still going to be here for the foreseeable future. I still enjoy doing the edited footage and edited content. I'm not as consistent as I was in the past, and I realize that. I still suffer from the same problem I've always suffered from, which is I take on way too many series at once, and then it takes forever for me to actually come back to it and finish what I've started. I still have plans to do older games too. It's just I'm probably going to. I'm dividing my attention between streaming and YouTube, and I may lean a little bit more towards the streaming side of things, based on the fact that YouTube is, in my mind, starting their decline as far as video game content is concerned. I know I'm a little late to that assessment. And I know that assessment has been made for many, many years, even prior to me streaming or me being on YouTube. But lately, with the demonetizations and the kicking out everybody who didn't have 1,000 subscribers, and whatever the hell their algorithm is doing that caused my minutes watched to get cut in half. I mean, quite literally in half, and all that stuff, and they've always been chasing the trends as much as they might say that they support gaming, and we created this whole YouTube gaming thing and all that stuff. They've always been chasing trends. They chased it because that was a big thing on YouTube, and then they let it languish on the Vine. And now the great combination is happening again. They just announced that they're migrating users who had followed you over on YouTube Gaming back onto YouTube proper, which to me is that's usually when Google does the old, oh, we're going to shut down this API now. That's usually what happens is they migrate users over, and then they say, all right, this is shut down now. So that's probably what's going to happen with YouTube Gaming. I assume it's going to shut down sooner rather than later. I mean, and honestly, they've ignored it for a long time. They put all kinds of good features in there just to get on parity with Twitch and everything, and now and then they just let it languish. They still have the one feature that no other service has, which is the rewinding a live stream, which is freaking fantastic. But that's all. Like, everything else was just a response to the current market trends, and then they went and abandoned it like they do everything else. So I will keep on putting videos out on YouTube. I wish that these streaming services would do something like that, where they would allow you to search for VODs for a game, rather than hyping up their live streams because, you know, time zones suck, and I realize time zones suck, and that's really why I continue to do the YouTube stuff. Well, one of the reasons why I continue to do the YouTube stuff is because, you know, it's I can put something up and everybody, you don't have to be there to see it. You can come back and see it whenever you got a chance. You know, Eastern time zone is not the be all and do all of all time zones. So yeah, we'll see what's continuing on with that. So we'll be just marching forward, my friends. Again, rambling on. All right, thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.